for it all the time.
Okay, so as we learn discernment,
Right.
okay, this is very, very important. When you're learning discernment, you're going to be able to just learn the basics of discernment in the Bible. And, when I think of the word discernment, it's like learning to know the difference, right? Knowing what is best or what is good when you're, trying to sort out the difference between two things or the difference between certain things. But um, if you go with a word search, which we're going to do, which is starting in Proverbs, okay? Because starting in Proverbs, we're going to look at the word better, Better. That's the word search I'm going to use. And so here, I need a reader. So who would like to read? Starting in the book of Proverbs. I mean, we could probably even cover it in Psalms, but right now I just want to focus in Proverbs, okay? So who has their Bible ready for helping me go through the reading of uh, Proverbs? Does anybody have it? Yeah, anybody? First one is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 14. Daphne, can you read chapter 3, verse 14 of Proverbs?
Yes, as soon as I can find it. As soon as I see it.
Daphne, is that something that you're able to handle, or should I go somewhere else?
No, sir. No, sir. For Proverbs, what, Passport?
Chapter 3, verse 14.
Ducky. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold.
Okay, so this is telling us that, maybe in the previous verse it'll mention,
Yes.
this is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. What is better than silver and gold? What is it?
So can I read 13?
Yeah, go ahead.
Passport.
Yep.
Happy is the man that finds wisdom,
There
and
it
the
is.
man that gets understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold.
So I have gold and silver in one hand, and I have wisdom and understanding on the other hand. Which one is better?
Both.
Wisdom and
You
understanding.
said both. You're making it complicated. You're supposed to choose only one.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'd rather have wisdom.
He said it with a grudge.
Yeah.
But that's discernment for you, right? You
Yes.
have to know and you have to have strong conviction. I am better off with wisdom and understanding
Yeah.
than I am with lots of money. You just got to be able to discern. I'm going to choose money or wisdom and understanding. I'm going to choose wisdom and understanding.
Yeah.
You just got to have that discernment that this is better than that. And when you let it sink in a little, yeah, you could have silver and gold right now, just like winning the lottery. You heard of the curse of the lotto winners?
No.
No, search it. But you could have all that gold and you can be miserable because you don't know how to manage it. You don't have the wisdom and understanding to manage it. So the way you treat money like that, easy come, easy go.
I knew a preacher named Ransom Howard. He hit the jackpot at the casino and he quit preaching.
Yeah, you know, that's
So
sad because
it's
you don't
sad,
want
but
to win
Pastor
the whole
Birdie,
world and lose your soul. You know what I'm saying?
once he quit preaching, Pastor Birdie died.
I don't even know what to say about that. You know,
They named a street after
God's
him and
judgment.
everything in Port Arthur. Yeah, they ran.
Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's the first discernment. Wisdom, understanding over gold and silver, over money, over wealth, over material possessions. Okay, that's 3:14. Proverbs 8:19. I guess you're going to be my reader, Daphne.
8:19.
Yeah.
Proverbs 8.
8:19 says, "My fruit is better than gold. Yeah, than fine gold, and my
Okay.
revenue than choice silver."
Okay. Here it is again. Comparison with gold, silver, material possessions. Right.
Mm-hmm.
What is better than that? My
What's better
fruit,
than
it says in
material
my
things?
translation. So who is the one talking in chapter 8? Because the speaker says, "My fruit is better than fine gold. What I yield surpasses choice silver." Who's talking? It's wisdom.
Good
So
evening,
basically,
Pastor.
wisdom. What?
Good evening.
Oh, hi, Ophelia. We're going through a search on the word better. And right
Oh,
now, we just went through Proverbs chapter 8, verse 19. My fruit is better than fine gold. What I yield surpasses choice silver. And the one speaking here in chapter 8, some people think it's God, but it's not. It's actually wisdom that's speaking. So there it is again. Wisdom is better than, you know, um,
Fine gold and silver.
yeah, material possessions. The next one, 12:9. Okay, so we're really establishing discernment. What's better? What's more important? Wisdom, understanding, or money? Okay. 12:9. Who wants to read 12:9?
He that is despised and has a servant is better than he that honors himself and lacks bread.
Wow. Okay. Mine says better to be a nobody and yet have a servant than pretend to be a somebody. And then I can't read the rest because of my app only goes so far. So what do you guys think of that? What's he saying here? What is better?
It's better to have a servant than to honor yourself.
It's better to be a nobody. Do you have that?
No, mine says he that despise and have a servant is better than he who
Okay.
honors himself
So
and
yours
lacks
yours
bread.
says
I don't get it.
despised.
Yes, sir.
It's better to be despised.
He that is despised.
Okay. So it doesn't use the word better like in my translation.
Yeah,
So he
it says better in there. And let's see, he that is despised and has a servant is better than he that honors himself and lacks bread.
okay. See how hard it is to try to chew on the King James? But this is what we have. For those who just joined us, welcome. We're looking at Proverbs 12:9. We're teaching discernment. This is discernment night. Learn to discern what is better. You can even generalize it and say, what is better in life, right? In life, what is better? This is discernment. And we're looking at Proverbs 12:9 for those who just joined us. Welcome, Marlon, Catherine, and everybody else who I've already acknowledged, Andrea. Okay. So, this idea that being a nobody, being somebody who's despised and yet has a servant, that's better than to pretend to be somebody and you don't have anything. You know, do you know the difference between people not liking or loving you, and yet you're pretty well to do because you have a servant, as opposed to you pretending to have a lot and yet you're broke. So which is better based on that?
Better to have servants.
Was that?
Better to have servants.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Because the servant, you can afford to pay a servant. You're in such good shape that you can afford to pay a servant. And even though nobody likes you, you're despised, or even though you're thought of as a nobody, but at least you have a servant, And as opposed to, wow, everybody's impressed with you, but you're broke, basically. So that was Proverbs 12:9. Let me read it one more time from my translation. Proverbs 12:9. Better to be a nobody and yet have a servant than pretend to be somebody and have no food. So what would you want? You should say, I'd rather be a nobody.
I want the food.
Yeah. Instead of pretending to be like, I came across this phrase, there are some people who are caught up in status, right? To them, that's the important thing. That's what they live for, that status. Well, if you're living for that status and you're broke, you're all caught up with all this debt, that's not better. Being a nobody and having a servant is better. Discernment tells you that. See, so you're choosing which is better. Those who are status seekers, maybe those in the world, would say, man, I want to be thought of as somebody. I like when everybody looks up to me like I'm somebody. But that's the way of the world, right? Don't after, status, being somebody, and don't hate being considered a nobody or being despised. See, which is better? Well, he's telling you, better to be a nobody. And at least you have a servant. All right. That's 12:9.
And a good
Do my
servant.
word search on the word better. Because knowing what's better for life, what's better for your life, that's a good practice. Okay. 15, 16. Who would like to read that? 15, 16. The ones who are driving, you're excused from reading the scriptures, okay? You're excused. But anyway, who would like to read that? 15, 16.
Better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and troubles therewith.
Okay, there's another one, right? It's
Better is little with the fear of the Lord.
A little. You don't have to have a lot of money.
Right.
To have a little bit of money and still walk in the fear of the Lord, as opposed to somebody who's got a lot of money. I'm trying to speak in street language.
And stressed out.
And, lives with a lot of stress and turmoil.
Yeah.
You see, that's why, it's constantly letting you compare which is the way of the world, right? The way of the world is all caught up with great wealth. Right. Oh, look at me and my great wealth. But the ways of God says, have the discernment to choose that it is better to have a little with the fear of the Lord than to have great wealth with a lot of trouble, turmoil. My translation. Okay. So again, you're learning to choose and know the difference between what is good and what isn't good. I wish I had this wisdom when I was a young believer, because I've made a lot of mistakes all these years. Let's look at the next one. Verse 17. You have that?
In 14?
What's
No,
that?
Proverbs 15.
15, 17? You have that?
Okay.
17?
Mm-hmm. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred
Ouch.
within.
Isn't that a beautiful one?
Yeah.
People who get caught up in going out to fancy places to eat, right? They think
Mm-hmm.
food is the most important thing. Eating from a fancy restaurant, an expensive restaurant, is really, real party, real good times. And there's no, it's better to have a small serving of vegetables.
6 p.m. Carbidopa.
Let me fix the background. Fix the background.
Uy.
Sino nagsasalita? Okay, I got it. Okay, so you guys get that? I go to your house, and you're a humble person, and you invite me to eat, and all you give me is vegetables.
We ate the meat.
Daphne. We're eating vegetables. That's all they're serving you, because they're so humble. That's all they're giving you. And you know what? I enjoy just having vegetables at your house, and that's all we're eating. We're not feasting, and it's just a really quiet, enjoyable meal, because I feel your love. I feel your love, right? Compared to a fattened calf, man, that's a feast. You got all these steaks and all the beautiful dishes that you're serving me. But what I pick up in this dinner is hatred.
And
People want
peas
to
and
argue.
carrots.
People are arguing with each other. They're criticizing each other. There's no peace. There's arguing over the dinner table. So which one do you want to eat at?
Vegetable.
Yeah. I'd rather eat with
Nice,
somebody.
quiet dinner, right?
Quiet, peaceful dinner.
Yeah.
That's better than having all these steaks and all these beautiful food. But people are arguing, and they're criticizing, and they're not loving, and they're hating each other.
Yeah.
Choose and understand which is better. Okay? That's 17. And again, let me know if there's other thoughts you want to share, because that's.
Hey, Pastor Bert, there's an old saying. Remember, it says, I'd rather have crumbs with bums than steaks with snakes.
I've never heard it that way before, but that's definitely biblical. I'd rather have crumbs with bums
Then steaks with snakes.
snakes. There you go, guys.
Mm.
And again, it's because you're discerning which is better. Eating in a big fancy ballroom with fancy food, and everybody there acts like they hate each other or criticize each other, or in a place where it's peace and quiet, not too much food, but everybody loves everybody.
Yep.
You know which ones to go, which banquet to go to, skip that one and go to the other one, right? Because you know better. Okay. Next verse. Okay, here we go. 16:8. 16:8. Okay. Who wants to- Sorry?
Can I read
Better
it,
a little
Pastor?
with
Okay.
One
Amelia,
at a time.
and whoever wants to read
Yeah,
also.
I will read it, Pastor.
Yeah, and then whoever wants to after you
This
is
is
welcome.
NLT.
Sure.
Better to have little with godliness than to be rich and dishonest.
See, which is better, wealth or having a little? Wealth
A little.
with injustice, which means you did a lot of harm, and you know how some people just lie and lie and lie when they're selling you something, for example, and then after you buy it, all the promises they made aren't true. They lied, as opposed to somebody who sold you something and was honest about certain things, and maybe they didn't get the sale because they were too honest. Which one is better? Okay? And if maybe you're young and aggressive and very ambitious, you say this is better. Gaining a lot, gaining much wealth, but I did it the wrong way. I hurt people along the way. Now, that's not better. According to God, what's better is, hey, be content with the little that you get. And at least you can sleep with a clear conscience, right? You can say, you know what? I didn't get the sale I wanted, or I didn't get what I wanted in business, but I can sleep good at night because I know I could have hurt that person and damaged them severely financially, but instead I didn't get it, and I can sleep with a good conscience. And according to the scriptures, according to this, that's better than the other way around. Catherine, Kathy.
Yeah. I have a live testimony on that, or a short one anyway.
Okay.
I won't tell you the job that I worked for. But
Why
yeah,
not?
well,
Go on.
well, all right. I was working for Jenny Craig, and they called us, salespeople, reps, and they wanted us to oversell our clients. And I just said, I can't do that. And so I was basically, I could leave the meeting because I said, I'm sorry, I can't lie to my clients, and I'm not going to try to oversell them. I can't do that. And so that was the end of me.
$50 membership, they want you to upgrade them to $150.
Well, it was actually get them to buy more food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
our clients already had a membership, but they wanted us to sell more food because we needed to make quota.
Yeah, even though they didn't need the food, you wanted them to buy more. Yeah, so then make more money. Sure.
Yeah, couldn't do it.
To just be honest and have a little, than to, I'm making lots of money, but you're hurting people.
Yeah.
See, that's discernment. You can discern the difference, which is the right way to go and the wrong way. And so that's better a little. That's 16:8. Proverbs 16:8. Better a little with righteousness than much gain with injustice, in my NIV translation. The next one is in verse 16. 16.
16.
16. This is a word search on the word better. It's fun exercise, don't you think? Go ahead.
How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver?
So again, what's better? Lots of money or wisdom and insight or understanding? You choose.
I'll take the understanding.
Yeah, so when you're in a situation, you got to make a snap judgment. Hey, I'm not going to go for the money. I'm going to go for wisdom and understanding. So that's just part of your training, right? I'll always choose wisdom and understanding. And in simplicity's, for simplicity's sake, wisdom and understanding is just doing the right thing in the eyes of God. It doesn't have to be complicated, right? You have something in your spirit that says, is this right in God's eyes? And if you answer that it's no, then that's something that you should avoid. Okay? Let's go with verse 19. 16:19.
Better to be lowly in spirit and among the oppressed than to share plunder with the proud.
Okay, you know what plunder is? Does anybody know what plunder is?
Yeah, concubine.
No. That's not plunder.
Plunder is when you got a lot.
Yeah, they
Or
use it like in pirate terms.
yeah,
They took the plunder, or in war, they took the plunder. It's like what you reward yourself with after battle and after defeating your enemy. Plunder. It can also be in the in the what is it? Criminal context.
okay.
Because we're gonna go after this person's wealth. So we're gonna take the plunder, or after we take it, it's our plunder. Okay, so you got an understanding of plunder then. So it says, better to be lowly in spirit along with the oppressed. Who are the oppressed? People who are humbled. They're in humble positions. They're in humble situations. They're not, high up on the level of, maybe popularity or anything like that. High up on the level of wealth. No, they're humble people. They're even people who are oppressed, like they're low in their, what do you call it? They're low in their place in society. They're oppressed. And it's saying it's better to hang out with them, to be with them, and join them in their lowly spirit, in their lowly attitude. Like, we're not people who are bragging about all the things we have or all the things that we've done. No, we're lowly spirit. We're humble. We're just average people. As opposed to, man, look at me. I was invited to join the popular kids. I was invited to be with those who are really rich and wealthy. They know how to party. So I'm going to hang out with them and share all the riches and all the things that they have. And it's like, no, you don't want to be with,
powerful.
with the proud people. You don't want to be around people who are proud. You guys know the principle of being proud in the scriptures, right?
Arrogant.
What goes before? What do you know about the cycle of pride and humility?
A fall?
Comes before a fall.
You guys get that? Pride comes before the fall. If you're hanging around with proud people, arrogant people, and they're about to fall because pride comes before the fall, if you're hanging around with them while they're behaving arrogant and proud, what's going to happen to you?
Guilty by association.
Yeah, guilty by association. And you can pretty much expect that you might fall with them when they fall.
Or shortly after.
I'm taking somebody with me.
Why? Yeah, I mean, you get dragged down with them. So it's better to be lowly and among the oppressed. Hey, I'm not in, the best places, but I'm humble. I just count myself as not too important, right? People are more important than me. Being lowly and among the oppressed, what does God do in the cycle of pride and humility? What does God do if you're lowly in spirit?
Lift you up.
He lift you up, right? Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, and he will lift you up. So just maintain that attitude of humility, humbling yourself, making others feel that they're more important than you, and you don't take this attitude that I'm better than them. No, I humble myself. Make sense?
And 4.
So now you know the difference between being lowly and who you should be with, as opposed to being attracted to hang out with the proud people. You don't want to go there because you might come down and be brought down with them. Okay? All right.
Why is it that we're not supposed to be proud to be children of a king?
That's a different kind of pride. Okay? That kind of pride, you could take pride in yourself without comparing yourself to anybody else.
Okay, yeah.
That kind of pride is you do your best, and if you're excellent, that's good because you did your best. If you did something that's praiseworthy, that's good too. But you don't have to compare yourself to somebody else. And that's a healthy kind of pride. But if you're getting caught up in comparing yourself, look at me, I'm so much better than that loser over there. I'm a winner, they're a loser. You know, I do so much better than them. You know, they're just so poor. You know, you don't have to compare yourself. See? Because when you do that, you are lifting up yourself above them. You're lifting up
Yeah, they're conceited.
your own ego. What was that?
Conceited. If you act that like
Self-centered,
that.
conceited, you know, getting everybody to focus on you and what you
Yes.
have and what you've done, as opposed to just saying, you know what, I did the best that I could.
Yes.
Thank God that when I did the best I could, I can take pride in myself.
But hey, Pastor Bert, look at Satan. He got kicked out of heaven for being prideful. We all know that. That's probably the first sign of pride, right? I mean,
that's probably the first sin.
That's what I'm saying. He thought he was better then, and he was like, "Well, I should deserve this, that, and the other." And then, so yeah, and when you bring that
worship like God, you know?
Yes, but when you bring that up, I mean, I can identify that sometimes. I mean, I'll tell myself, of course, I get caught up in things, and I relate what you're saying. We're like, man, I could do that better, or this and that, and you don't think about it. But I think that's when I, constantly got to get into prayer and like, Lord, renew my mind. I say that all day, all the time. I ask the Lord constantly to renew my mind because if I work in an environment with around a lot of men and a lot of men like with big egos, which I don't have a huge ego, but I get caught up in that, and I know that's the enemy working at me. Like, come on, Dave, get involved in that. You're better than that. So I think that it's one of those hard things, but we gotta catch it, repent, and kind of ask for it to renew our mind and change our thought, right?
Well, yeah, like it says here, which is better? Choose what's better. I mean, maybe if I was in high school or middle school, you know how it is, the lowly kids, maybe they might be considered the smart ones or the nerds. And, they're not proud in any way. They're just kind of humble about the way they live their life. And then there's those real proud, arrogant teenage kids that think they're better than everybody, pick on everybody. And if you didn't have wisdom, who are you going to be with? I want to hang out with the popular kids, the powerful kids. I don't want to hang out with those, humble kids, because
I don't want to hang out with those wusses.
No, with the smart kids,
with the losers,
those losers, those wusses.
And that's just wisdom to say no. You know what? It's better to just hang out with them. Because when you realize it, when we all get older, They're the ones who own and run big corporations, right?
Exactly.
And we're the one working in the
Yeah, in a gas station pumping gas.
Yeah, stuff like that. But it's just okay. There's cycles, right? That's why, hey, if you're lowly, God will lift you up. If you're proud, God will bring you down. So get used to that cycle. Okay, looks like we have time for one more. In chapter 16, it's verse 32. Who would like to read verse 32? Anyone? David, you got that?
Read it, Pastor.
Yeah, I'll read it. Where's that? Proverbs?
Brother Daniel, who wants to read?
Yeah, me, Pastor.
Brother Daniel, go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his spirit than he who captures a city.
This has been one of my favorite meditations because I put it in Christian context. There's a lot of people, and my translation says, better a patient person than a warrior. There's a lot of people who want to say, I want to be a warrior for God. I want to be a warrior for God. And then, you know what's better than being a warrior for God? What?
Be patient.
Read it. What? Read
Being
it.
patient.
Being what?
Patient. It's better a patient man.
He that
or
rules
woman.
his spirit, Pastor, rules his spirit.
No, that's the first part. What does it say in the first part?
Better a patient man.
Slow to anger.
Okay, slow to anger.
Better than the mighty.
So did you get it? I want to be a warrior for God, Pastor Bert. I want to be a warrior for God. You know what my response is based on this verse? It's better to be a patient man for God.
Yeah.
What is it? Long suffering was the other translation. It's better that you are a person who is long suffering for God. That's better. Do you see what I'm saying? Usually when you come across somebody who says, I want to be a warrior for God, Pastor Bert, everybody will say, yeah, be a warrior for God. Yeah. But there's this quiet voice saying, no, that's not better. What's better is being a patient man for God, being somebody. I forgot the other translation again. What is it?
Self-control.
I want to be a man who is slow to anger for God. Be that instead.
Yeah.
Self-control.
Hey, Pastor, can I read mine real quick? Because mine's different at the end. It says, better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city. I don't know what that means. Who takes a city?
For example, who takes a city. Here's an example.
Takes over.
I want to take San Bruno, California for the Lord.
Oh, yeah.
I want to take the city of San Francisco for the Lord.
Yeah.
Pastor Bert, I want to take the city.
Wow.
And what is Pastor Bert's response?
Be patient.
It's better to have self-control.
Yeah, this is good.
Control yourself. Have the fruit of the spirit of self-control. That's better.
Yeah.
Trying to take a city for God. No, I want to take a city for God. I'm going to do it right now. And everybody who wants to do that, join me.
Come to San Jose.
I want to be a person who is self-controlled for God. Everybody who wants to do that, join me. We want to take the city for God.
Yeah.
So choose that one rather than. You guys
hey, Pastor, I have been that guy that says I want to be a warrior. I just want to let you know.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being a warrior, but you know what?
I know, but this is good for me to understand this too, because this is a reason. Yeah, I say all the time, Lord, help me be a warrior for you, all that. But sometimes it says right here, be a patient person. Better a patient person.
Yeah.
Exactly. What you're learning is there's nothing wrong with taking a city for God or being a warrior for God, but you better know what's more important.
Being patient in his time, right? In his timing.
That's right.
Amen. Yeah.
Better to be patient, and you also have to have self-control.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a minister who's powerful and yet he lost his temper?
Mhm.
Then it takes it out on his congregation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You blew it. I mean, we're all guilty in one way or the other, but we still know the difference. What's better, right? Remember, this is all about discernment, choosing what is better. So
Mhm.
you hear me saying, let's take this city for God. Okay, but you better be self-control. I want to be a warrior for God. Okay, but you better be patient. Okay. So that's as far as we're going to go. And let's just close then. Thank God for our time of meditation. Okay, who would like to close? Anybody?
Yeah, I will.
Thank you, Manny.
Heavenly Father, thank you for your word tonight. Let it just pierce our heart and our soul and our mind. I need